Hi, I'm Steve Cohen, and welcome to this week's Open to the Public. First stop, we'll head over to the Shelbourne House. You may have read about the Shelbourne House, new low-income housing for AIDS patients. We'll head over there, talk with Dennis Russ, revisit the Shelbourne House. We were there when it was under construction. We'll show you what the finished product looked like. Second stop, between Washington and Collins over on 12th Street, Debbie Ohanian. You may know Debbie from Meet Me in Miami, Starfish, a lot of neat things. She's been on the beach since '84. We'll talk to her about how the beach has changed and what she's doing now. Finally, new business here on the beach, Onboard Media. We're going to talk with Philip Levine, the founder and president of Onboard Media, find out why they chose Miami Beach as their location to have their corporate headquarters. All of that on this week's Open to the Public. We'll be right back.
For over 80 years, we have served the public and other fine jewelers. I'm Scott King of Martin King Jewelers. Come to our wholesale showroom to see one of the largest and most beautiful collections. Diamond solitaires of all shapes and sizes, emerald, ruby, sapphires, and imported fine gold jewelry, all at wholesale prices. We are distributors of Audemars Piguet and Bertolucci watches, manufactured since 1912. Fabulous jewelry, fabulous prices. That's Martin King's, 1074 Kane Concourse, Bay Harbor.
Hi, I'm Ellen Friedman from Mark's Quality Cleaners. We're perfecting the art of making you look great. At Mark's, we've installed technology that creates optimal cleaning conditions. Our skilled staff assures that every phase of cleaning and pressing reflect our mark of excellence. Mark's, a Miami Beach landmark, is easily accessible at the breezy corner of Alton and 20th Street. We offer same-day service 6 days a week. Our new hours from 6:30 till 9 weekdays are geared to your convenience.
Where can you find a touch of the Riviera, a dash of Milan, and a kiss of the tropics? La Voile Rouge, an oasis of European style, footsteps away from the excitement of South Beach. Arrive by yacht and we'll send an escort, or simply step off Ocean Drive. Dine at poolside or in elegant surroundings. After dinner, it's brandy at Cigar La Voile. La Voile Rouge, the only luxury European hotel directly on the ocean in South Beach.
Sure, Friendly Honda has great prices on new 96 Hondas. And yes, Friendly Honda lives up to its name. But Friendly Honda also has something that no other dealer in the world has, a cat named Senior. And it's Senior's job to make sure everything at Friendly Honda runs smoothly, from sales to leases to service. Senior even watches over the big guys. So when you stop by Friendly Honda, go straight to the top. Ask for Senior. And for the best price, shop Friendly Honda last.
710 Jefferson Avenue, the Shelbourne House. Dennis Russ, I'm used to seeing Dennis with the Miami Beach Development Corporation. How did you get involved? First off, let's tell the people at home what the Shelbourne House is.
Well, the Shelbourne House is an initiative that provides housing for people living with AIDS, affordable housing. There are 24 units of housing that is right here on Jefferson Avenue.
Now, the last time we were here, it was under construction. It was around a year ago, and you got a federal grant for what, $1 million, $2 million? What was that all about?
The initiative began almost 4 years ago. And we had undertaken to acquire the property and to obtain funds in order to rehabilitate the property. So we acquired it for about $500,000, and $1 million has put into the complete rehabilitation of the property. And you can see that today it's really beautiful.
It is. It's and you people have to see inside the hallways, the smell of fresh paint. It's a totally new piece of property at this point.
Gut rehab. We tore it down to the walls and tore the walls out and redid the walls, but it's been done in a manner that complies with the Secretary of Interior's historic preservation requirements, and the Miami Design Preservation League and the City of Miami Beach Historic Preservation Board. All of those organizations were encouraging and helpful, and really are a part of the team that helped undertake this initiative.
Now, I said in the beginning, when I see Dennis, I think of Miami Beach Development Corp. How did Miami Beach Development Corp get involved in this project?
We had decided some years ago that our work in commercial revitalization on Ocean Drive and Washington Avenue and Lincoln Road ought to be extended as well into the residential community, and that one of the areas that we ought to be of assistance to is assuring that this neighborhood is a successful mixed income, multi-ethnic community. So we began to look for ways of acquiring property, fixing them up, and making them available as affordable housing, and contributing positively to the residential community, and as well as to make a contribution to the commercial community.
Now, the people at home see the Shelbourne House, and they may see the Godparents' House that UFA has put up. Is there a difference between the two of them?
Well, first of all, I want to say how much I congratulate the United Foundation for AIDS and South Shore Hospital for their work in the Godparent House.
And you can't say those two organizations without mentioning Al Evans, of course.
Sure, and Al has done a terrific job, and all the people that he has worked with, and we congratulate him on that initiative. South Shore Hospital has a model comprehensive treatment program, both outpatient and inpatient, for people with AIDS. And they saw, as I understand it, Godparent House as a compatible and important part of that initiative that UFA, United Foundation for AIDS, and Al Evans had undertaken. I think that provides both long-term housing and perhaps short-term helpful housing to people who are involved in the or using the hospital. Our initiative is a longer-term housing for residents of the community, so that they will have housing that is appropriate to their condition over the course of time.
Now, there are requirements because the federal government is involved with this, right? This is mainly for people that, I believe $16,000 is the income cap or something like that. What are the requirements to get into the Shelbourne House?
Well, there are essentially two. There is the requirement that they are below a certain income level, and that they have a level of disability by virtue of their status as living with HIV. And those two aspects, their disability and the fact that they are of low income, enables the federal government to provide resources to maintain, to rehabilitate the property in the first place, acquire the property, and then for the organization to obtain continuing rental assistance over the course of time, so that those disabled, limited income folks have safe, sanitary, healthful place in which to live.
Now, I asked Dennis before if there was any competition between the Shelbourne House and the Godparents' House, and what you said, there is such a shortage of housing that you guys really work together. There is no competition there, is there?
No, we're very supportive of their initiative, and I received a lovely letter from Al just recently on congratulating us on this initiative. So I think there's a great deal of goodwill between the two organizations, and the need is a tremendous need. Our own community has a very substantial incidence of people living with AIDS, and a need for this kind of housing. I think that Godparent House was the first of its kind, and this is the first of the Section 811 HUD-sponsored long-term housing initiatives that has come into our South Florida area.
Well, Dennis Russ, Miami Beach Development Corp., and also sitting on the board here at the Shelbourne House. Thank you, and thank you for being concerned about the citizens of Miami Beach.
Certainly, Steve. Thanks.
Hey, Barry, what's the story?
The story's this. Nobody beats Bach. Take a look at this. Diamond tennis bracelets from $99. 1-carat diamond engagement rings from $9.95. Thousands of gold chains, bracelets, rings, earrings, new and used Rolexes and other fine brands. And thousands of Seikos up to 60% off. So if you're selling, buying, fixing, sizing, bargain hunting, or customizing, nobody beats Bach.
Where can you find a touch of the Riviera, a dash of Milan, and a kiss of the tropics? La Voile Rouge, an oasis of European style, footsteps away from the excitement of South Beach. Arrive by yacht and we'll send an escort, or simply step off Ocean Drive. Dine at poolside or in elegant surroundings. After dinner, it's brandy at Cigar La Voile. La Voile Rouge, the only luxury European hotel directly on the ocean in South Beach.
Sure, Friendly Honda has great prices on new 96 Hondas. And yes, Friendly Honda lives up to its name. But Friendly Honda also has something that no other dealer in the world has, a cat named Senior. And it's Senior's job to make sure everything at Friendly Honda runs smoothly, from sales to leases to service. Senior even watches over the big guys. So when you stop by Friendly Honda, go straight to the top. Ask for Senior. And for the best price, shop Friendly Honda last.
You're injured in an accident. You could be out of work and run up some pretty expensive medical bills. At Cohen & Cohen, we're dedicated to serving your legal needs with competence, professionalism, and personal attention. If you're injured in any type of accident, one simple phone call to Cohen & Cohen can help answer questions regarding your legal rights. Call the attorneys at Cohen & Cohen now at 1-800-33-COHEN. That's 1-800-33-COHEN.
You'll never guess where I am. 12th Street between Washington and Collins Avenue. A real fixture down here in South Beach. Debbie Ohanian from Meet Me in Miami with Bubba. Hi, Deb.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. Meet Me in Miami. Where did that start?
It started a long time before anybody really wanted to come to Miami.
Yeah, before anyone wanted to meet. Yeah, really.
This time around. I moved here in 1978 from Boston, and I had one of those friends that I left behind in Boston that always sent us care packages, and one day she sent me a little ceramic necktie that said Meet Me in Miami, and I thought, God, if I ever have my own company, that's definitely the label. I never wanted to put my name on the label, so that sufficed.
So then you wind up, fashion designing? I mean, what's a beautiful girl like you doing in fashion designing? You're supposed to be on the other end. You're supposed to be the model end of that.
No, I like to eat too much. I started sewing when I was 10. When I finished high school, I went to design school in Boston and decided I couldn't take the snow anymore. Came to Miami where my grandmother lived, so where everybody's grandmother lives. And
yeah. And after the blizzard of '78 in Boston,
Yeah.
Debbie moves down, to Pompano first, then you wind up down in South Beach.
It was one of those Miami, Pompano, back to South Beach kind of.
One of those commutes,
Yeah,
right?
Dade, Broward, Dade.
Now, you've been here a long time, since '84.
Yeah.
How's South Beach changed?
Well, I don't think in 1984 any of us that were here could have imagined it would be like this today. I think the peak for me and sort of the highlight of South Beach was around 1990, 91, 92, and then since then it's sort of going into another direction that I'm not so sure I'm happy about, but that's what happens in these neighborhoods when they start to gentrify, if you want to call it that, or...
Yeah, I have the same attitude that you do as far as South Beach, where we're getting too expensive, we're getting too crazy, we're getting too uppity with ourselves, really. You agree with that, or...?
We're too big for our britches. And, but I guess this happens in a lot of cities in America. But this is a resort town, so I think we feel it a little more because it's so seasonal. And people still want to say, oh, it's not seasonal anymore, but I think it's still very seasonal, and that's the thing that we have to overcome and just try to work with. The landlords.
Yeah, really. Now, you've been involved down here. I mean, restaurant on West Avenue, Starfish.
Right.
Bought that from the Gaddies. That must have been, they're a fixture in this town for 40, 50 years. What was that like? I mean, Gaddies restaurant, which then became Starfish when you bought it. There any unusual negotiations or anything going on there?
Well, it's funny. Gaddy was one of those places. I lived at South Point Tower at the time, and I would drive up and down West Avenue visiting people that lived in high-rises and other high-rises, and I always thought, what is that place? What is that place? It looked like some sort of mysterious building that you shouldn't go near. And one day I actually walked by on foot and kind of peered over the gate, and I thought, oh, this place is really cool. I don't know what it is, and it had a little for sale sign, and I called the realtor, and the next day I was inside thinking, oh, this should be open. It was at that point where everything was starting to really blossom on Ocean Drive, but it almost felt like it didn't belong to us anymore, so I thought it was time to open something on the other side of town.
So you go over to West Avenue and 15th and open up Gaddies, open up Starfish over there. What happened with Starfish? I mean, was it too much? I mean, this woman is like the hardest working woman in showbiz today, and you're not even in showbiz. I mean, you do the day job. You do Meet Me in Miami. You design your own clothes. You manufacture your own clothes. You have a retail outlet. You want to get into the restaurant business?
It wasn't like I wanted to be in the restaurant business. I wanted that property. I wasn't looking for a restaurant. I didn't even want to open a restaurant once. I thought about turning it into a factory, actually, if you want to know the truth, but logistically it didn't make sense. I don't know, I guess every once in a while you find that property you fall in love with, and I think it's a really beautiful place. But after a year and a half it got to me, and I realized it's very difficult to survive the summers here. So at present, it's rented out to somebody. We don't know if they're ever going to open. They may not, but it's a mystery.
Now, people on the beach, have this pie in the sky attitude that everything on Miami Beach, you come down here and it turns to gold. That's not happening. I mean, you have that great restaurant over on West Avenue, and you've had a couple of people in there. It seems like you're in the business of collecting security deposits and having them go out?
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that on the beach. I'm learning. It's to try to turn these leases over as much as possible. Really, sometimes I look at Lincoln Road and I think this might be a major plan to just get all these people out, to put the major stores and chain stores in there that can afford really huge rents. And it really makes me sad, because if we lose our individuality, people just will be bored of coming here.
It's frightening. I have the same viewpoint on Lincoln Road. I mean, I think it's a travesty of what's happening there. Quickly, I mean, you say you're close to Hasidic women, to Orthodox women. What's a nice Armenian girl like you selling clothing to Orthodox Jews?
Well, I have a great rep in New York City, and one day she looked at the clothes and said, if these were longer and bigger and wider and higher in the neck, I have a customer for you. And she took me to Borough Park. And I was like, wow, this is a whole other culture. But actually that whole culture also exists here on places like Lenox Street and 41st Street. And, I like to sell clothes to anybody that really wants to wear them. I don't feel that kind of ego thing where I'll only sell to size 5 models, or, only sell to this type of person.
Debbie Ohanian. Really Miami Beach's own, here since 1984.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us. And good luck. Meet me in Miami. A good-looking guy to my left, David Bromberg, advertising sales manager here at Gold Coast Cablevision. David, how does it work? I'm sitting at home watching TV. I see a Budweiser commercial. I see a Coca-Cola commercial. And then 10 minutes later, I see a commercial for an auto shop here in Miami Beach. Explain to us how that works, how many commercials there are during an hour.
Actually, what you have is there's 15 different networks that are available for local advertisers, and they range from an ESPN and a CNN to an MTV or an A&E and Discovery. And what is available is 2 minutes per hour on each channel for local businesses to promote their goods and services.
So someone like myself who's been here 40 years, when the season comes, it gets real busy. So there's not as much advertising time available. So if you want to advertise, you need to do it now, don't you?
Right. Gold Coast Cablevision reaches 60,000 households. which is about 120,000 or more people. You can reach those people very easily on television because most of them watch TV daily.
Now, what about doing a commercial? Everyone thinks at home that it costs a lot of money and that the people doing it aren't experts. There are some good people out there, aren't there?
Some great people out there. Actually, as you say, the people that produce Open to the Public will actually produce your commercial.
Ralph Budd, Eleanor Ho,
Exactly.
the same team?
The same people. It's a small world.
I mean, so you people at home, I don't want you going out trying to produce Open to the Public. I want you to go out there, produce a terrific commercial for your business, advertise here on Gold Coast Cablevision. How do they get a hold of you?
It's very easy. Just call 861-6533, extension 3200, and what we'll do is we'll send a salesperson out, not to hard sell, but just to talk to you about your business and see if they can help you and we can help you be more successful.
David Bromberg, advertising sales manager here at Gold Coast Cablevision. The man knows everything about advertising on cable. Thank you, David.
Thanks, Steve.
Dum 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 dum.
9th Street, Alton Road. Some of you old-timers may remember the old Intercontinental Bank building. Boy, there are some serious changes going on here. Onboard Media, president, founder, always been on the beach, Philip Levine. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And welcome back to Miami Beach. I mean, this is a great endeavor, taking this building, and it's almost like we're at MTV Latino or Post Edge Productions.
Okay.
There's a lot of energy here, isn't there?
Absolutely. It's a real young crew, young staff, and we're growing.
Tell the people at home, and for you people at home, Onboard Media, that's the company that produces a lot of the magazines for the different cruise ships out there, a lot of the shopping series, the shopping videos. Tell the people at home exactly what Onboard Media is.
Onboard Media is a company that services the major cruise lines, including Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines and Celebrity Cruise Lines, Costa Crystal, and so on and so forth. And we actually publish the in-cabin magazines for these cruise lines. So, for example, if you're going on a cruise to the Caribbean or Alaska or Bermuda or Europe, you're going to find one of our magazines right in your cabin. And the magazines, as you can see, are 5-color productions. And we also produce in-cabin television. So when you're reading our magazines, and let's just say you don't want to read anymore and you want to turn the TV on, you're going to see our magazines on TV with our series called Shopping in Paradise.
Now, you're pretty smooth on camera here. What, graduated University of Michigan, 1980?
1984.
84, okay. I've aged him a couple of years.
About 4 years.
Yeah, I'm trying to have you catch up to me, okay? Graduated 84.
Exactly.
What, political science?
Political science.
How the heck did you wind up in the cruise magazine business?
It's funny. The thing is, I always saw myself in the hospitality business. I was always interested in hotels, cruise ships. I was working for Drexel Burnham Lambert. I was based in downtown. I was looking out of the AmeriFirst Bank building, looking down at the port of Miami, and I would see these magnificent cruise ships. And all I could think about to myself was, how can I get on one of those cruise ships? And the opportunity came to me, and I was asked to come on board the ship. I gladly left my position, and all my friends thought I was absolutely nuts and crazy. And I went on board a cruise ship, and I delivered the first shopping talk in the history of the Caribbean, which used to be done by the cruise directors. So as you can imagine, I took that away from them, and I wasn't the most popular guy on the cruise ship at the time, but the rest was history.
Now, the birth of Onboard Media. This happened in 1989 and also back here on the beach, didn't it?
Right, exactly. The company was founded in actually the end of '89, beginning of 1990, and the first office was right above the News Cafe at 800 Ocean Drive. And I had a studio apartment, which was right above the restaurant, and it was myself and Jerry Chaffetz and a secretary, and that's where we began.
Jerry's still with you now, right? You have him locked up in one of the back rooms or something, working away, right? Jerry's the inside guy, right?
Absolutely, 100%. He's a senior vice president.
Back in '89, did you ever think this business was going to be as big as it is? I mean, the cruise business back then wasn't as big as it is right now.
The cruise business has gone through dramatic growth, and it somewhat, I think, mirrors Las Vegas. As Las Vegas has grown, so has the cruise business, and we've seen them both grow. And luckily, we've been fortunate enough to be attached to both markets, because we do business in Las Vegas also.
Now, some of the things that you do on board the ships, art, that's a real big thing. How did you wind up in the art business, where you actually, have art auctions on board the ships?
Yes, exactly. What we've done is we tried to be creative as possible to come up with different profit centers for the cruise lines that not only generate revenue for the cruise lines, but at the same time are a great amenity for the passengers, because people want options. The more to do on board, the more fun. So we have our port lecturer programs. We give high-powered shopping talks, tell people where to go in the islands. They love it because everyone loves to shop. We have our magazines in the cabin. We produce the in-cabin television shopping shows. We also have the most tremendous art program, which has been something which has been so successful, where we retail through an auction format art on board the ships. And we sell everything from Peter Max to Tarkai to Agam to every well-known international artist, and people are able to come on board. We have 5 auctions a week. They buy a tremendous amount of art, and we ship it directly to their homes.
Now, I think of the people taking a cruise. They're not exactly the sophisticated type person that would buy art. We think of a lot of Bob and Betty from old bum part of the country.
You know, on one hand, you're right, but on the other hand, the industry is changing. The cruise industry, as their product becomes more and more 5-star, they're attracting more and more affluent guests, that really buy substantial art. But we make sure that we have art for everybody, everything from $50 to $50,000 on board the ship, and passengers love it. You know, a little champagne, go to an auction, and things happen when you're on vacation.
Now, I started the show talking about the wonderful job you've done in this building. Take us on a little tour of the building. You have what, your own, we see the video behind us. Sure. You have your own video production facility in the building?
Yes, we do. We have our own complete digital editing facility where we do everything in-house from start to finish. And we have video developers, we have digital editors, we script, we produce everything. Matter of fact, we're finishing a major marketing video for Celebrity Cruise Lines. And we just entered into an agreement with what's going to be the largest cruise line in Asia, which is happening right now, called Star Cruises. We're producing their entire marketing video for Star. And we're flying back and forth to Singapore, where they're based. What
about I look over your shoulders and I see all the cubicles with all the young people in here working. I swear, you sure this isn't Post-Edge Productions?
It's funny. I think our company is it's young and it's fun. And it's really young people having a great time, and everyone, the majority of people live on the beach. So we have a great location being close to everybody. Matter of fact, we built a spa in the building, a little mini workout facility, and we just invested in 2 Stairmasters and a running machine, and hopefully everyone's going to use it.
Yeah, I'll meet you guys there next year, okay? We don't want to work off and work out and, ruin this figure and everything else.
Of course not.
Really. The future, where are you going?
Well, there are still some cruise lines we don't have yet that I think we're going to have very near future. We are going to grow in the cruise business. We're going to develop more and more onboard profit centers. We're expanding in Las Vegas. We've signed Caesar's Palace, the MGM Grand, New York, the Stratosphere, the Desert Inn, and we're going to be doing lots of publishing in Las Vegas. We're going to get more involved in video production. We're producing more for the cruise lines. And really, we are a cruise-based company, and any way that we can come up with new ideas, fresh and creative, to generate revenue for the cruise lines and at the same time entertain the passengers, onboard media is going to be there for that.
What about, you do work in Vegas,
yes.
You do work on the cruise lines. Yeah. What about South Florida? I mean, one of the big pet peeves I have is that the people coming here taking a cruise are here overnight, hop on the cruise ship the next day, and then they're out to sea.
Sure.
What about something in South Florida? Is there any direction that you're going to take towards that?
Matter of fact, we've had over time various advertisers in our publications from South Florida. We've had shops of Bal Harbor advertised, various restaurants and clubs in South Beach, and I think in the future, as passengers, come to Miami and they get a little appetizer, a lot of them want to come back or spend more time, and we'd like to be able to get more involved in maybe pre-advertising Miami or post-advertising, so on and so forth, and I think it's in the future.
Hopefully.
Absolutely.
Well, good luck. I mean, Onboard Media, Philip Levine, the co-founder, president, CEO, he's God here, okay? I mean, we bow to Philip. And, hey, super nice guy. I've heard wonderful things about you. Good luck, and may you be a long-term resident of the beach. Around 2050, you and I go out for a drink at the News Cafe.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, Philip.
Thank you very much.
What a great mix we've had on this week's show. 3 different personalities that make this area such a wonderful place to live in. Till next week, I'm Steve Cohen. We'll see you on Open to the Public.
Dum 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 dum.